In this Palworld video, we're going to be talking about some of the ways you can move around your base and just move around the game in general. We're going to be talking specifically about a couple of the gliders. But before we get into the gliders, we got to talk about what the game allows you to do. So the game is going to allow you to climb trees. When you get to the top of the tree, you can stand on it. So when you jump off the tree, like you can climb these rocks, you can climb basically anything except for pals. So when you're in your base here, building, you can even climb your base. You can climb rocks, you can climb everything, but see that stamina bar? Once that reaches 0, you can no longer climb. Other thing you can do is roll. So as long as you're moving in one direction, you can roll. And so if I'm running straight and I want to roll backwards, I can. It's just going to switch my direction. So if you're doing any boss battles or just fighting pals in general, that can become very useful. You just have to watch your stamina, of course. And if you're running around the base, it does help a little bit, but not a whole lot. One thing I don't see a lot of people talking about is, so I'm on Xbox, so if I hold B, I can crouch. There's no going prone, but you can crouch. So if you're running down a hill and you hold B, you can actually slide down and you can jump to come out of the slide, so that'll get you around much faster. Another way to get around, you may have seen it earlier in the video, is the grappling gun. You first unlock it with ancient technology points at level 12, then you get the mega grappling gun at level 17, then you get the giga grappling gun at level 32, and finally you get the hyper grappling gun at level 47. The grappling gun has quite a good range on it, and the better grappling gun you have, the better the range is. So instead of climbing my base, I could just use that to get right up to the top, not use any stamina. Or if I wanted to, get up there, I could jump off the base, use it to get up there to close the gap quicker. Or just moving around the base in general, if I wanted to get around quicker, instead of walking or running, once the time limit is reset on the grappling gun, you can just go and use it again. In the latest update, they made it so that you could move no matter how much weight you were carrying, but if you use the grappling gun, you can still move just as fast. So if you have multiple gliders in your party, it's going to go off of who the first one is. Now the first pal we're going to be talking about is Celaray. While in a team, can be summoned and used instead of a glider. So with him, if he's in your party and you craft and have the gloves on you, as you're running through your base, you can double jump and use him to glide along. Now the problem with these are when you jump and you use the glider to get around, you can see my stamina bars going down. So if I run out of stamina while I'm flying, I'm going to absolutely fall, just like you can see here. So it's not super good if you're just trying to get around, and he's not very fast either, but he is probably the earliest glider you can get, but it definitely gets the job done. Like coming down this hill, if I were to use it, it's quicker than walking. But another trick you can do, come down, slide, jump again, and it's gonna go much faster. So that's one trick you can do. Another trick you can do is if you come up to a tree or something that's higher up, grapple to it, cancel the grapple. That didn't quite work, I didn't cancel it quick enough. But you can do that, and then it'll also send you flying forward. So yeah, just like that. And now you get that same speed boost as before. So for getting around your base, Celaray's okay, but it's not going to be the fastest choice. Celaray you can get from any of those areas. The next one we're going to talk about is killamari. So in comparison to Celaray, you do get higher up when you use it. I'm not really sure if the speed's that much greater. It seems to be a little bit, but I don't have actual numbers. But it is also very scary to look at when you're gliding with it. So that is another option to get around the base. Or if you're just going out, I wouldn't really recommend it for leaving base though. Most of the gliders, I'd rather just use a flying mount. And you can see it still uses your stamina. And for killamari, it's kind of funny, if you go to habitat, its habitat's unknown. That's because you have to find them in dungeons or caves. The next one we're going to talk about is galeclaw, who is my favorite gliding mount, as he is definitely the quickest, and he is the only one that, if you're flying, allows you to shoot. So you don't necessarily get as high as maybe killamari, but you definitely go a lot farther, a lot faster. So for going around bases, if I'm just moseying on around my base trying to get places, I do love to use galeclaw. He is my favorite. Galeclaw you can get over there daytime or nighttime. And the last one we're going to talk about is hangyu. Not 100% sure how you pronounce it, but he is the most unique one out of all of them, because as a glider he allows you to go up instead of down. So all the other ones, you're going downhills, him, you're going uphill. So if you want to jump down here and then use a glider, you're gliding up, which is very dangerous, as he uses your stamina and you will take fall damage if you go too high. So if you're going to use him, make sure to be very careful, because you definitely don't want to take a lot of fall damage just because you're gliding up instead of down. So if I wanted to use hangyu to come down here instead of sliding, it's not going to work, and it's using my own stamina. I mean, I can slide to get my stamina back, but then I'm still, significantly faster with the slide, but it's still going up. And then when your stamina's down, you can't climb, you can't jump, you can't run or anything. So it's just taking all your stamina for that. Thanks, Ragnarok. Getting a little bit of wool. But yeah, so if I wanted to glide down, I could jump down, glide, let go, start gliding again until my stamina's out. And I could use him instead of a flying mount to get up the hill, mostly. I don't know why it slowed down like that. Now, if I were to do the same thing with galeclaw, I would not be going up, and I'd be going a little bit faster down. Let go. Yeah, so now I'm out of stamina, so I can't do anything. So slide down, jump, and I can't make it to the top because I'm gliding downwards instead of upwards. But you can still use it when you're going up a cliff. Or I could grapple this, cancel, and then call my galeclaw for a speed boost, which you can do the same with hangyu as you saw, but you're going to be going up, which again, if you get too high up, you're just going to take fall damage. So we're going to use the third floor, I guess, of my building here, and we're going to see how far it can go, and we're going to compare it with the other ones that you can get. So it's not bad. It's pretty good glide. Alright, next we're going to use killamari, who's also not very fast, and if you look at that, it's super scary trying to look at that, but you do get a lot further with it. Now we're going to use galeclaw, who is significantly faster and about the same distance as killamari. Alright, next we're going to use hangyu, who actually brings you up instead of down. So the distance looks a little bit better than the rest of them. That's about the same. And lastly, we're going to talk about these parachutes where you can glide without needing a PAL. So you can get the normal parachute at level 5, you can get the Mega Glider at level 18, and you can get the Giga Glider at level 40. The glider you'll need to put into your glider slot. So the very first glider you get, it's not going to take you very far or very fast. Now we're going to try with the Mega Glider, which does have a higher speed and less stamina drain. As you can see with the normal glider, normal parachute, it's got 50 speed and 20 stamina drain, where this one has 65 speed and only 16 drain. Next, we're going to go to the Giga Glider, which is 80 speed and 12 drain. So with the Giga Glider having the best speed out of all the gliders and distance, it's not very good. And even if you're just running to use it while you're moving around your base, it's still not very good at all. Even the worst PAL that you can use as a glider, which I would probably say is celaray, is still better than just this regular glider. So I know you're thinking, are they really that great to use? Well, because we were using the floor of our building there, I had to take the roof off to show you with Ragnarok here. But is it really better to get around? Not necessarily. I mean, really, not really at all. This mount would be much better to have than either of them. Plus, you get to control it, and it doesn't use your stamina. So, it doesn't matter how high I am. I'm not going to fall off this and take fall damage. So I could go as high as I wanted, and if the bird ran out of stamina, it's not going to hurt me. So now we're basically as high up as we can get. And we're going to come all the way down. And no one's injured at all. And if I want to glide up, I can just fly. If I want to glide down, I can just descend. So really, the flying mount, I think, is better than any of those mount, or any of the gliders. But don't get me wrong, moving around my base, I do love to use galeclaw. It is a lot faster than running around. Moving around the base, I'd recommend a galeclaw. And once you're leaving, use a flying mount. So out of all the PALs and the gliders, I would prefer to have a galeclaw, but overall, I would rather have just a regular flying mount. Now, there is some ground mounts, like Dire Howl here, but for the ground mounts, I would still prefer just a regular flying mount over it. I think it's faster and just overall gives you more utility. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. As always, thanks for watching.